What's a modern trend you hope disappears in the next 5 years? Story 1. Every single piece of tech having AI. I literally could not give I don't want AI in Microsoft Word. I don't want it on Facebook. I really just don't want it anywhere. It off, not owning media. Do you mean I can't download my ebooks that I bought anymore? Story 2. Daylight savings time. It has not done anything beneficial for me even as far as seasonal depression. My body operates much better just going with the time the sun comes up. Having to skip an hour or gain an hour just totally messes me up beyond anything else that I know. Story 3. I hope in the next 5 years they make laws against being able to post children online. I just don't think it's ethical for a parent to post their whole birth to a child's graduation ceremony all over Facebook. I shouldn't be able to see a child's whole life story and be able to see where they are and where they go to school. I'm 23 and I have had my younger cousins in the 18 to 13 age range tell me they get bullied at school because some classmate has found their mom's Facebook page and started showing an embarrassing photo she put up in 2010 around the school. And then the family YouTuber channels is a whole other kettle of fish that needs to have laws against it. That is just straight up having kids for views and money, and the kids usually don't get paid for any of it. At least in the film industry there are laws so the children actors got to keep their money. I'm gonna stop my rant here because I could go on forever about how angry this topic makes me. Story 4. Saying you've done your research when you've really googled something and haven't even checked if it's true. People lie. Some internet gossip rag you clicked on doesn't have to tell the truth, but you'll never know if you don't look it up. Research is in-depth study that involves checking sources and validating their veracity. You can't just assume something is true because you read it online. That's not how research or science or anything works. I hope this idiocy gets sharpened into something better. Because Christ, some improvement in critical thinking skills would not hurt. Story 5. People taking photos vids without considering other people's privacy. Hate that we can't seem to walk in public places nowadays without the anxiety of becoming an unintended cameo on someone else's vlog or TikTok vid. Story 6. Catastrophizing normal feelings. Nervousness, anxiety, uncomfortable, triggering, happens, traumatized, sad, depressed. For those genuinely suffering from anxiety, depression, PTSD, etc., it's not helpful. Story 7. Membership discounts. No, I don't want to create 500 different accounts for every single store to get the advertised discount prices. Even worse when you gotta request the discount through a shitty app before, you'll gladly leave entire carts of groceries for this. Story 8. Recently, people have started to on different scientific studies, saying they're stupid, like the eating habits of goldfish or do bees taken other bees that are lost, round peas versus wrinkled peas. There are probably a ton of people who take Ozempic and don't realize that it originally came from a study on the ability of the Gila monster to not eat. I would like people to believe in science again. Story 9. Women's shirts all being cropped length. I'm sorry but I don't always want my fupa out, especially in professional environments. Please just give me back the bottom 3 inches of my shirts. Story 10. Every person company thing having a podcast. Why does the Home Shopping Network have a podcast? They need to start requiring a license to buy podcasting equipment. Story 11. Popular videos of fully grown Italian men having absolute meltdowns over the way other people are eating. Kinda specific, I know, but I have no clue what people like about them and I can't seem to avoid it no matter how hard I try. Story 12. Social media influencers and how they've basically become celebrities. It's not a new trend, but I'm sick of it. Actors, musicians, performers, and so on are one thing. They blew up because they have some kind of talent. Influencers blowing up cause they look hot, can apply makeup in a functional way, they're rich, they do trendy dances in front of a camera. The influencer trend has long overstayed its welcome. Story 13. Misogyny. ISN about time to get over this. The whole women are lesser humans thing isn't really getting humanity anywhere, is it? Overuse of therapy speak. Story 14. Social media. Can we just go back to having life in real life, she says, complaining on a social media site instead of talking to real humans in her real life. Story 15. Modern trend. Not knowing that an effective way of taking power away from an is to give the no publicity. Just completely remove the AH's name from your vocab. Story 16. Can people just get off Facebook already? For sake, I stopped using it a decade ago and my life has been significantly better. Let my friends from high school think I'm dead, I don't care. Story 17. Tipping culture. Tips in general. Eyebrows that are too bushy or unnatural. If the first thing I notice about your face are eyebrows, you're doing it wrong. They're there to make your face natural without drawing attention to them. Indifference. In general, people being indifferent and inconsiderate. Vaping. Alpha culture. This one is last because, to be honest, just leaves more for the rest of us. Story 18. The cancellation of people whose opinions you don't agree with. Whatever happened to a lively debate? I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Voltaire. Story 19. Everything is a service or subscription. I wouldn't be surprised to find a toilet where you have to scan a QR code to use it. Plastic surgeries for beauty. Story 20. False lashes. Not the strips people put on for special occasions. The ones that are planted and last 3 weeks. People walking around gym with caterpillars on their faces. Story 21. I hope the modern trend of people filming themselves doing stupid things like screaming in restaurants or even filming themselves doing crimes just to post on the internet stops happening. Cloud has ruined people's judgment, and I really hope people can come to their senses and stop because it's not funny or cool. Story 22 Authoritarianism, those, what people call micro-trends. It's so unsustainable and quite frankly anxiety-inducing. Trends change so quickly now that people are buying things only to wear them for one season then moving on to the next. Going to nights out in bigger cities feels like some weird competition around who's dressed in the newest and most niche trends. Trends and fashion have become more pretentious and it's exhausting. Story 23 Shoving iPads and smartphones in little kids' faces anytime they are in a public place in order to keep them busy and entertained. I'm literally nauseated at the number of tiny kids, even infants with a screen in their face just to sit in a cart at the grocery store or have lunch at a Panera. I'm hoping a semi-Luddite movement starts to take hold to save these poor little kids. Teaching kids how to behave and be patient in public is part of making them productive members of society. Story 24 I really don't like the hatred towards fact-checking. Why wouldn't you want to know if what you believe is real or not? Especially if it gets you upset. If I started getting pissed off that unicorns are eating everyone's tires, it'd be relieving for someone to show me there are no unicorns and tires are not often eaten by anything at all. Story 25 Everything having an app. I refuse. I'm not downloading an app for social media. I'm not downloading an app to drive my car. I'm not downloading an app to fly on a plane. I'm not downloading an app to buy groceries. I'm 2 seconds away from going back to a flip phone. Don't test me. Story 26 One trend that could use a rethink is overly aggressive clickbait content, those exaggerated headlines that promise shocking revelations but deliver little substance. It's frustrating when valuable insights get buried under flashy tactics designed just to grab attention. Story 27 The language we're using online. I'm not talking about the flash-in-the-pan stuff that sounds ridiculous, like skibbity or whatever. I'm talking about the words we use to avoid talking about topics, words like unalive when talking about death, or using emojis to censor words like blood or penis or... It's really feeling like the 1984 doublespeak, where you have to talk in an acceptable way or you no longer get to use the internet. It's absolutely laughable that you can do and say stuff on TV now that wouldn't have been seen even 20 years ago, yet on the internet the moment you talk about death or drug use your YouTube channel gets a strike or your Facebook account gets banned. How backward are we as a society where that happens? Story 28 The need to post every single detail of your life online. Influencers are the worst, but even those who aren't, and no one cares, making a huge production out of everything from promposals, to gender reveals, to guest dress codes for weddings and other formal events. I don't mean black tie, casual, etc. I mean the ones where it's spelled out what color, style, etc. The hots expect guests to wear. Whatever happened to just asking someone to the prom, telling your friends and relatives if you choose to find out whether you're having a boy or a girl's, and letting people wear what they want to as long as they are appropriately dressed. Story 29 Misandry. How openly people feel comfortable generalizing all men and claiming the absolute most vile stuff is insane. It's just accepted as okay for some reason. Story 30 Lingerie as outerwear. I got nothing against looking good or enjoying your beautiful body along with an appreciative audience. But it's nice to compartmentalize. If you reserve some things for clubs, parties and special times it raises the appeal. I feel like society now basically ignores the beauty of women. You got a show or nobody about you.